The world outside is still asleep, the sky remains diamond. You're nestled in the gentle cocoon of your blanket. Your eyelids flicker open, then shut once more. A new day gently taps on your shoulder, but you cling to the comfort of a few more quiet moments. Your brain is already racing with thoughts, work tasks, obligations. Everything floods your mind like a storm. You feel buried, and then you hit snooze again. Well, know where this leads you. Oversleep. You scramble, your day begins in disorder rather than calm, and this becomes your cycle over and over. Does that sound familiar? Mornings often feel like the enemy, but in the eyes of Stoicism, the true foe isn't the morning itself. It's our mindset and reaction to it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." The Stoic doesn't avoid the morning, they rise to meet it and claim it. A well-crafted morning routine isn't just about getting more done. It's a quiet commitment, a way of saying, I'm stepping into this day with purpose. Building and sticking to simple rituals can reshape everything, because routine brings order, builds momentum, and plants good habits into the soil of your life. Stay through the end of this video, and I'll show you exactly how to design a meaningful and effective morning routine, one that shapes the direction of your day right from the start. Let's dive in. The first hour. Take charge, or it will take charge of you. Let's focus on what you do after waking up, the most important hour, and its connection to Stoic thought. Segment 1. The Golden Hour and Stoicism. Think back on this morning. What filled your first hour after opening your eyes? Were you in control, or did the hours weep you away? For many, the world sets the agenda. Phones buzz, hands scroll, notifications flood, emails, chats, calendar reminders, and suddenly the day begins in reaction. Note intention, a day built by others, as if you follow Stoic principles. You'll know that's the wrong foundation. Stoics taught that most things are beyond our grasp, but one thing remains ours, always. How we respond. Epictetus called this the dichotomy of control, and wrote in the Discourses, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." What better moment exists to exercise that wisdom with steady focus and self-direction than in the morning? Those early minutes aren't just passing time. They are your mind's command center, your executive suite where you meet yourself to set the day's direction. You cannot make wise choices if you're flooded with headlines, gossip, and other people's urgency. The moment you open your eyes, you cannot guide others if you begin the day being pulled in every direction. And the first thing you must lead is your own thoughts, actions, and focus. Aurelius ruled an empire, yet still began each morning with quiet reflection. His writings, now known as meditations, were never for the world, but for himself, a private space where he turned to values like patience, humility, and the true purpose of life. Imagine it, the man carrying Rome's burdens still chose to ground himself daily in what mattered most, being a good person. Now think about modern times. Take Tim Cook, Apple's CEO. He rises at 30 a.m. Clears his inbox, removes distractions, gets his body moving, and plans his day's priorities. Not a marathon, just the first hour, and he owns it completely. A morning routine isn't just a popular idea. It's a powerful act of defiance in a chaotic world. It's a Stoic practice of mastering the only domain you truly control: your choices, your responses, your mind. So if you're wondering how to begin, the path is simple. Start with 10 minutes of quiet. No screens, no alerts, no noise, only your breath and your awareness. You could meditate, write a few thoughts, or read a line of ancient wisdom. What matters is clarity. You are sending a signal to your mind and to the day that you will act in purpose, not react without aim. Because if you don't claim your times, someone else will. If you don't choose how to rise, the world will choose for you, and rarely for your benefit. One timeless approach practiced by warriors, leaders, and creators is this: win. With the morning, with the day. You can't control everything that happens, but you can control your response, and it all begins in that first hour. The Stoic doesn't wait for life to get easier before choosing to live well. They act with what's available. Time, mindset, discipline. The morning becomes their practice field for living wisely and intentionally, not someday, but starting tomorrow. You don't need a full hour to change everything. Just 10 focused minutes can shift your direction. It's more than just a routine. It's your personal statement about how you choose to meet life. Tour replaces news with segment 2. Replaces news with strategy. When you hit snooze, you're not simply delaying a sound, you're making your very first decision of the day. And it's procrastination in disguise. You're not just silencing the alarm, you're silencing your intention. You're telling your brain, this can wait. It's not that urgent. And the danger is this: your brain listens. It only feels like a brief delay, but the ripple effect runs much deeper. Science calls it sleep inertia, a foggy state of mind that lingers for 2 to 4 hours after waking. During that time, your clarity, your judgment, your energy can fall by up to 30%. You're stepping into the day with your brain half awake and wonder why everything feels off. You're not just postponing a moment. You're setting the tone for your entire morning and quite possibly your entire day. Imagine two sales reps starting their Monday. The first one rises with the first alarm. No hesitation, within 10 minutes, he jots down 3 clear goals for the day. Call 20 leads. Secure at least 1 sale. Submit his report by 4 p.m. As a result, he's focused and composed. He enters the office sharp, ready, and that month he tops the sales board. The second one hits snooze multiple times, rushes through getting dressed, grabs break fast in a hurry, his mind still foggy, arrives late to work, and his first client is already irritated by the delay. The morning's momentum is lost, and the whole day becomes an uphill scramble. Just one small habit separates them. But the outcomes are miles apart. Morning isn't just when your day begins, it's your golden chance to shape it. The first action you take sets the lens through which you see everything next. Waking up should be a conscious choice, not an autopilot reaction. This is why high achievers, from tech CEOs to elite soldiers, follow strict morning routines. It's not because they have extra hours, it's because they understand this truth. If you don't take care of the first hour, the day will command you instead. So don't let snooze lead your morning. Ask yourself, what simple action can shift things? Now here's one strategy to begin. Place your alarm far enough away that you're forced to get out of bed to turn it off. Next, drink a glass, around 300 ml of water, to hydrate your body after hours without it. Flip on a bright light to activate your natural cortisol levels and signal your brain that the day has begun. This moment may seem small, but it's a powerful reset. You're not just changing a habit, you're upgrading the way you live your day. No need for complicated routines or overwhelming lists. Begin with one firm choice. Wake up with purpose. If your morning is the first chapter, then your daily schedule is the story's direction. In the next party, you'll discover how the hours you fill can reveal what truly matters to you. Don't skip it. 3. Schedule with mirror of values. Segment 3. Schedule with mirror of values. Ryan Holiday doesn't start his day buried in emails or racing into back-to-back meetings. Instead, he begins with 2 quiet, intentional actions: reading and caring for his land. From 6 to 8 a.m., he reads and takes notes, laying the intellectual foundation for his writing life. Then at 8:30, he steps outdoors to water the plants and tend to his animals. The tempo is slower than the fast lane of most professionals, but every step has purpose. His day is built around 3 guiding values: knowledge, practice, and a strong connection to family and nature. Each block of time exists, not to stay busy, but to protect what he believes makes life meaningful. That's the real strength behind a deliberate morning. Time isn't something that simply passes. It's guided with purpose. Like a mirror, it reflects what you care about most in these moments. You're not just organizing hours, you're carving out the person you intend to become. One common error people make when thinking about scheduling is reducing it to a simple productivity hack. But scheduling is not about squeezing more into your day. It's a moral compass. It's how's what you value, what you trade your time for, and which direction your life is heading. A calendar packed with aimless calls, mindless scrolling, and non-stop reacting will never lead to a meaningful or excellent life. Ask yourself clearly, what is my calendar actually for? Who's really designing my hours? Every meeting you accept, every blank space you ignore, and every app you check is a small vote for the identity you're building. Marcus Aurelius once said, you must build up your life action by action and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible, and none can keep you from this. That's not just a quote, it's an instruction manual for how to schedule your day. Now bring Stoic wisdom into the Eisenhower matrix, and the picture sharpens focus on what you control and what nurtures long-term meaning. Not urgent noise, not someone else's fire, but acts that strengthen your inner core. Journaling, moving your body, deepening your knowledge, and meaningful connection. These won't be demanded by others, but if you don't carve time for them, they will never happen. Morning is the prime window for intentional effort. Before the noise of the world creeps in, willpower is strongest. The mind remains clear, unclouded by demands, and you still have command over your focus. To make use of this sacred time, act with intention. Don't wait to stumble upon time. Print out your weekly calendar on actual paper. Don't let it behind a screen. Place it somewhere visible where you can't overlook it. Now, highlight 3 morning blocks for focused deep work. No distractions, no scrolling, no background noise, just you and the one task that matters most. Then set a phone reminder that reads, protect the asset, and put your device away for the first 90 minutes of the morning. Don't let taps hijack your energy before your day even begins. When your calendar becomes a mirror of your values, not merely a scheduling tool but a framework for your integrity, you'll notice a powerful shift: fewer distractions, less anxiety, and something rare: A quiet certainty that you're headed where you need to go. Never forget, a scattered calendar cannot build a focused life. Each time block is a conscious brick in the structure of your days. Place them with care, discipline, and dignity. You don't need to copy Ryan Holiday's routine step for step, but your schedule must embody your beliefs and goals. So ask yourself honestly, how are your mornings being shaped? What principles does your calendar reveal? Share your routine in the comments. Your small habit might just help someone hit reset and take back the first hour of their life. Segment 4: Rituals and Momentum. Momentum doesn't demand massive effort, it demands steady rhythm. This is what most people overlook about mornings. They imagine it has to be a long checklist: meditation, gym, journaling, reading, cold shower, time blocking, and when it feels overwhelming, they drop it after just a few days. But here's the truth, you don't need to do it all. You only need to stick to one purposeful act done consistently until it becomes a piece of your identity. The Stoics weren't mystical thinkers, but they deeply valued ritual. They understood that a repeated act done with focus and awareness could be powerful, not because the world needs the routine, but because you do to stay grounded in who you want to be. Now imagine this: reading just 10 pages each morning by year's end. That's over 3,600 pages, or about 12 books. 15 daily minutes of stretching or core work adds up to 90 hours of movement in a year. Nobody else creates that result for you. It's you showing up for yourself through one repeated choice. Momentum doesn't knock, it's built slowly through habit. Take Jocko Willink, retired Navy SEAL leader, didn't Ralph for giving speeches or posting workouts. She simply shares one thing: a picture of his wristwatch at 4:30 a.m. every single morning. No motivation quotes, no gimmicks, just a quiet signal: I'm up, I'm ready. And more than 2 million people follow just for that quiet example. They witness our relentless mindset, a ritual done freely, yet never skipped, and that's exactly what you need: a grounding habit, one thing you commit to each morning, without argument, without delay, without exception. It doesn't need to be impressive, it just needs to be locked in. Maybe it's listing 3 things you appreciate. Maybe it's 5 minutes of movement. Maybe it's reading a short quote from Marcus Aurelius, or simply pouring a glass of water, standing still and taking 3 intentional breaths while thinking, I won't be dragged by the day, I will walk into it. With intention, once you establish that anchor, build from it. This is called habit stacking. Link a new routine to something you already do. Write for 5 minutes after making coffee. Read one page while the laundry starts. Meditate for exactly 3 minutes after brushing your teeth. You don't need willpower made of steel, just a clear beginning. Never overlook the strength of small rituals. Your morning habit not only gets your body moving, it builds the mindset. I'm someone who chooses their direction. Every time you honor a promise to yourself, even a little one, you eat your mind. I can rely on me. That belief is the engine that keeps momentum alive. But on the flip side, every time you choose to delay, every time you hit snooze, you quietly tell your mind, I don't have control. With time, it's not just your morning you forfeit. You chip away at your self-respect. You weaken your belief in yourself. You let momentum slip through your hands. You don't need a dozen habits. You only need rhythm, and one small anchor to create that rhythm. Start tomorrow with a single action that matters but cannot be skipped. Write it down. Pair it with something already familiar. Follow through again and again. Let this thread pull you calmly and confidently through the rush of life. Mornings aren't a performance. They're a private checkpoint, a quiet space to align with your purpose. And momentum doesn't require speed. It requires one decision done repeatedly until it becomes your standard. 5 Gratitude and Goals. 2 Segment 5 Gratitude and Goals. 2 Complementary opposing forces. Balancing each opposing forces. Morning gives you our chance to set direction, and inside that sacred window lie 2 tools that feel like opposites, but are in fact partners. Gratitude and goals. None grounds you in now, making you notice what's already good. The other launches you toward growth into what could be ground in motion, contentment, and striving, presence and hunger. 2 energies that feel contradictory, but together, they shape a stable, clear, stoic mind. Seneca once wrote, "He is most powerful who has power over." True strength doesn't come from conquering crowds or crushing goals, but from learning to govern your inner world, to notice your instincts, pause, reflect, and realign. Each morning hands you this power, not through frantic scrolling or diving straight into work, but by choosing a slower act. Sit still, take out a notebook, and begin to write. Write what stirs. Real gratitude. Avoid vague lines like, I'm glad to be alive. Instead, name something clear and close, perhaps the silence of dawn, the smile of a child, the comfort of clean clothes. Precision deepens connection, authentic feeling roots you in now. And when you do this, you quietly tell your brain, right here is full enough. That voice inside, pushing for more, always more, loses grip in that moment. But don't stop with gratitude. Turn your eyes forward with purpose, with one sentence about who you aim to be. Without this, gratitude stalls, becomes comfort that cages your growth, and you risk never reaching better. Stoics didn't kill their drive. They trained it to walk in step with values they set, ambition in service of virtue, not ego. So, after jotting 3 lines of thanks, write this one line. I am becoming. Who is that person? A wiser son, a sharper thinker, a kinder leader. That one line is your direction, your quiet oath, your North Star, before noise hits and the day races forward. Think of Olympians. They don't only sculpt muscles, they sharpen their minds too. They sit with a journal each morning, not to reflect passively, but to hold steady beneath intense pressure. They imagine success before they chase it. Their event may last minutes, but their mindset is shaped the moment their eyes open. And so it is with you. You may not stand in an arena, but you battle indecision, temptation, apathy, and that voice saying, just 5 more minutes. How you begin the day defines how you face that battle, with intent or reaction, with purpose or with drift. You don't need medals to live like a winner. You only need a waking moment where you say, this day is mine. And act in it. Try this 5-minute process. First, sit still. Second, open your journal. Third, list 3 clear things you're grateful for. Forget fluff. Fourth, write one sentence that begins I am becoming and end it with truth. This practice transforms you, not because it's loud or long, but because it's sacred, a quiet trait that centers you in the now and lifts you toward who you aim to be. Forget chasing the next life hack. Begin with ownership of your morning. You don't need more hacks, you need more presence. Gratitude connects you, goals define you, one roots you in worth, the other fuels your pursuit of growth. If you keep rushing into the day without a grounded morning, you forfeit a grounded life. If you can't take charge of your thoughts when the day begins, the world will steer them for you. So ask yourself, will you wake with intention or slide into reaction? Will you begin with clarity or chaos? Pause and decide. Will you reach for the pen or the phone? Leave a comment. What's the first sentence you'll write tomorrow morning? Who is the version of you that's rising? Let us hear your voice. 6. Movement ignites energy. You don't always need caffeine. Sometimes you just need to move. When your body wakes, your brain often lags behind, still caught in the fog of sleep. In that space, you're given a choice. Remain curled up with your phone or rise and spark your own momentum. No equipment needed, no morning routine marathon, just 2 minutes. Jump in place, stretch with purpose. Give your nervous system a signal. It's time. And science agrees, only a few minutes of light movement kickstarts dopamine, the chemical that fuels attention, motivation, and energy. But that's not all. Norepinephrine sharpens your awareness. BDNF fuels your brain's growth, cognition, and clarity. You're not just shaking off sleep. You're fueling the brain, priming it for quicker, wiser, more focused choices. The Stoics may not have known the word dopamine, but they knew that reason thrives on discipline and preparation. Think about Marcus Aurelius. He didn't scribble meditations while buried under blankets. He was emperor and soldier, and he faced each dawn with movement, not hesitation. Now imagine this, a freelance coder tethered to his chair, eyes locked on code and deadlines. No fitness trainer, no fancy setup, but he starts every Pomodoro with a 5-minute stretch, reaching high, twisting his spine, rolling his wrists, breathing with intention. No beats, no applause, just personal command. The result? His mind snaps into gear. Reaction time improves, clarity sharpens, and he skips that 3rd cup of coffee. It's not magic, it's physiology. Move the body, wake the brain. A simple ritual with exponential gains. No longer hours, just smarter use of the ones you already have. That's Stoicism in modern form, doing the hard thing by choice, without praise. Yet most folks choose differently. They crack their eyes open, grab the phone, and flood their system with updates and noise before their brain has even checked in. They forget the gift of the new day. They're sucked in, and as Epictetus wisely said, you become what you give your attention to. If you begin your morning in sluggishness, that's exactly what you'll carry throughout the day. So today, do something simple. Whenever you feel your energy dip, whenever your focus wanes, stand up and move. Just for 2 minutes. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the task to be complete. Just move. Lift yourself off the chair, stretch, twist, jump. You'll be surprised at how the body can revitalize the mind. This isn't about a workout routine. It's about making a statement of life. Every movement is a confirmation that you're still in control, no matter the chaos outside. Stoicism doesn't preach, go chase happiness. It's about building inner resilience, and the most immediate, effective way to do that is through movement. To move is to act. It's rejecting stagnation, telling yourself, I'm not waiting for a good day, I'm creating one. And the best part? You don't need to be a gym enthusiast, and you don't need extra hours in the day. It's about taking that first step when the alarm rings or when you're tempted to open that next YouTube tab. Move right then. But movement alone isn't enough. If you truly want a morning that unlocks your potential, you need structure. You need a personal ritual that doesn't just wake you up, but primes you to be focused, clear, and purposeful. So how do you create a morning routine that aligns with your values and embodies the Stoic spirit, where you take command of your mind before the world has a chance to steer it? The key lies in designing a purposeful start. Without a plan, you fall into automatic actions, a rushed cup of coffee, a mindless swipe on your phone, and the reflexive tap of the snooze button. The way you begin your morning doesn't just influence your day, it shapes who you are. Live without intention, and you live by default. Stoics don't wait for inspiration, they prepare. They understand the importance of the morning as the foundation. A weak foundation leads to a crumbling structure, and a foggy morning leads to a fatigued day. So, the real question is, what will you do next? The answer is simple: create a routine, a practice you design for yourself, not one you mimic. This design doesn't have to be complicated. Just 3 layers, 15 to 30 minutes each, repeated long enough to form a solid mental and physical structure, a system strong enough to combat chaos and stagnation. The first layer is your anchor. Picture the morning as a ship setting sail. If you miss your anchor, you drift aimlessly. An anchor habit, simple yet repetitive, stabilizes your mind and shields it from distractions like emails, social media, and impending tasks. A student might write down 3 learning goals, while an entrepreneur could meditate for 5 minutes, observing their thoughts the way Marcus Aurelius once did. The exact action doesn't matter as much as its daily repetition. For repetition is what builds resilience. A habit is more than just a routine. It's an anchor that holds you steady amidst life's turbulent seas. The second layer of your morning routine is focused on growth. With a clear mind, the morning offers the perfect opportunity to step into the growth zone. The brain is fresh and free from distractions, making this the ideal time for learning. Dedicate 10 to 20 minutes to something that pushes you forward, making you better than yesterday. Reading 10 pages a day adds up to 3,600 pages over the course of a year, and listening to just 15 minutes of an industry podcast puts you ahead of 90% of your peers who haven't learned anything new all year. Seneca wisely said, "We are not short on time, we squander it." Don't let your morning prove him right. The third layer is vitality. Body and mind are intertwined. Clear thinking is impossible in a sluggish body. Whether it's 5 minutes of planks, 15 push-ups, or a brisk walk around the block, movement is essential. Stagnation of the emotions happens when the body stays still. This is why Epictetus, despite his lame leg, emphasized discipline through action. Vitality isn't about having sculpted abs, it's about awakening your willpower. A body stirred to life awakens a mind ready to conquer the day. 3 layers, 1 system. Anchor to stabilize, growth to expand, and vitality to awaken. Don't follow someone else's blueprint, create your own. Design a system that you can follow for 30, 60, or 90 days until it becomes more than just a habit. It becomes part of your identity. Remember, routine isn't a sterile obligation, it's a silent vow to keep the world from pulling you away from your true self. It is the Stoic response to chaos, not to chase after everything, but to step back, breathe, and act with purpose. Routine won't transform you into Marcus Aurelius, but it will help you avoid waking up only to be lost in the first notification. Begin small, very small, but begin with intention. Keep your phone off the nightstand. Lay out your notebook the night before. Set the alarm 15 minutes earlier and commit to it each morning. No matter how brief, this routine becomes a fortress against procrastination, distraction, and self-doubt. Not tomorrow, but right now. Your morning doesn't need to be flawless, but it must have you awake, present, and prepared. While you can't control the whole world, you can control how you begin your day. And sometimes that's enough. There's no such thing as a morning miracle. There's only you and what you choose to do while the world is still asleep. Success doesn't require a 60-minute meditation or a 10-kilometer run. It can be as simple as waking up on time, writing 3 lines of gratitude, or keeping your phone out of reach for the first 30 minutes. What will you choose tomorrow morning? Write it in the comments, just one thing, and come back in 7 days to tell me what has changed. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Happiness depends upon ourselves." Action begins not when you feel ready, but the moment the alarm rings. You control the first 60 minutes of your day. Live with the Stoic spirit. Master yourself, practice virtue, and refuse to let the world steer your mind. If you find value here, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next video. See you tomorrow morning. Not to dream, but to do.